Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 3 replays in the Western Alliance Era 3 Tech Tree medium tank, the AMX 32. Now this is the entry era tank for, or entry era 3 tank for the French Cold War line that just come out. And it's a pretty damn nice tank. It's got good mobility, it's got a fantastic gun, it's got an absolutely fantastic reload, and it just seems to do very, very well at farming the damage very, very quickly. And you've got a 20mm autocannon like that you had on the Era 2 AMX 30s. And that can be so useful in a fair few situations. Although with that 20mm autocannon, you do have to remember that you do have a main cannon. And don't just get stuck into firing that autocannon. Remember that when you keep your eye on that icon in the left corner of your ammunition bar, and make sure that when your main gun is reloaded, fire the main gun, because you're wasting DPM massively. And while the autocannon can be ferocious, you just need to remember to fire the main gun so you can keep destroying things, because while you're racking up damage quickly with that autocannon, they're also racking up damage very, very quickly on you. But yeah, this tank's really quick, really good gun, like unbelievably good gun. With the setup we've got, it's got 0.19 accuracy on rotation and 0.73 during movement, which means this gun is basically always aimed. Adding to the fact that it's got 1.9 second aim time as well, yeah, this gun is always aimed. It's just ready to go no matter what. And the fact that you've got a 4.2 second reload as well means that you're just absolutely eviscerating everything very, very, very quickly. And this is why I've set it up for that pure DPM, because that's what it's got. Because this tank doesn't really have any armor. It's got the kind of armor where, yeah, okay, you know, it's Era 3, you might randomly absorb or bounce the odd shot here and there off your front, but for the most part you are made of paper, so just expect to get penned most of the time, and if you bounce something, wonderful. And then just try to absolutely shred things with your DPM like we are doing to this Challenger 2. As you can see, we're already up to 5.2k damage. It really does shred very quickly. And if you can keep yourself flanking and spanking, you'll have a great time with this gun. And that's the thing to do with this tank. Try not to get into head-on in brawl engagements like this, because this is where it starts to go very, very badly for your tank very, very quickly, because you lose all of your hit points in the blink of an eye. And while you do have fantastic DPM, you just lose all your ability to trade and stuff like that. And realistically, as soon as you get to that low health in Era 3, as soon as anything sniffs at you, they'll automatically hit you on the move and kill you, which is not a good time. So, how do I set this tank up? Well, in terms of a crew, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Clutch Braking, Deadeye, Steady Aim, Run and Gun, and Off-Road Driving. Off-Road Driving just to help the ground resistances, make sure that I'm hitting this top speed, but to be honest, Off-Road Driving is probably actually a little bit unnecessary. You could probably run Rapid Aim instead of Off-Road Driving. I think I ran that. This is the same crew I ran on the 30s, but you could definitely drop the Off-Road Driving, because you'll hit the top speed anyway. And run something like Rapid Aim to make the truck traverse better. Take armor angling so that you're reducing the amount of damage coming into you, so that you can dish out more, you know, and you can use your hit points a little bit better. It's totally up to you how you set it up. But all the rest of it, like Deadeye for the 20mm autocannon, when you do get up behind people and start laying in that fire, you can set people on fire pretty damn easily. It's lovely. And then, yeah, the gun perks just to make the gun keep the gun as good as it humanly can be. And in terms of equipment on this tank, I do run the advanced loader, traction system, and vents. Full DPM. That's why I've gone with vents. I want my DPM to be as good as humanly possible. To make the most of it, that's why I run vents. With the advanced loader too, and that gets you down to that 4.2 second reload. Even faster if you boost with food too. And the traction system, because that puts you up to 71 kilometers an hour, which is getting up there with the speed of a lot of the tanks in Era 3, because a lot of the tanks in Era 3 are absolutely rapid, and you want to keep up with the gameplay, and you want to be able to take those aggressive positions very, very easily. So that's why I set it up like that. But again, it's just, that's all template crews and setups, really. You can set it up how you want. And like I say, the stuff with like off-road driving, you can quite easily get rid of that and put on anything else, really, to help your tank out. I just have certain amount of crews, and that crew will go into everything, right? Like the MX-30Bs and these ones and stuff like that. So in terms of this game, as you can see, we're up to 10,371. 10.3k. 901 assistance. And we've got 4 kills. We've managed to farm a lot of damage, but you did see a mistake, and that was I decided with my friends, I'm going in on this Thumper. And I went in on the Thumper, and we didn't really go in on him. And I ended up losing a lot of hit points to him, which was just a stupid maneuver. I should have stayed on the hill and sort of duked it out a little bit more. Just got a bit impatient with it. But, you know, we're still surviving. There's 3 tanks left on the enemy team. There's this Leclerc here in the middle of the town on Nebelberg. We managed to get the nice snapshot in there with the RBRT, which sets him on fire, which is absolutely beautiful, and he gets shut down. We're up to 5 kills with 11.3k damage. There's only 1 tank left. It is this M8 AGS, but he's getting pushed in by basically my whole team, and that means that I'm getting absolutely nowhere near. And post time is the MX-32. So it's a pretty damn good tank. If you enjoy Era 3, you will probably enjoy this tank. I mean, for the fact that it's the starter tank, it does pretty damn nicely. As you can see, 5 kills, 11.3k damage, the ace tank of the high caliber, 1800 base XP, pretty damn nice game for it. And yeah, for a starter tank, I was pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly surprised by it because I feel like the gun is phenomenal. I feel like the DPM in itself is also phenomenal. I feel like the auto cannon is a really nice feature to have for when things overextend. And in Era 3, a lot of the time, in my experience, a lot of tanks overextend by a hell of a lot. And they will full charge you, full YOLO you, and they'll sweep straight past you. Which means that you have the opportunity to like get your gun turned around on target and then just start machine gunning them in the ass. Stuff like that. And it's really useful for stuff like that, especially the big boxy ones that are fairly easy to pen in the rears, like that Type 92 there, or the Leopards, or the M1s, or the, you know, like the Thumper and stuff like that. The only one it really doesn't, in my experience, it hasn't really done too well against is the Macarvers. The Macarvers team to be able to just resist that cannon altogether. So it's just about knowing what you're going to be going against and knowing what you can use that autocannon for to make, you know, rack up the damage as quick as possible. So we're in the second game, and the second game we are on this map, which is Nomini Nom. It's No Man Han. And we're just going to rush with our team to this position here at B8. We've come over this way purely because my whole team is here, and in Era 3 it's just death if you don't follow your team. You may as well wolf pack, because that's just the way you're going to have to go with it. And we're going to try and help our team win this flank if we can. We'll try and put a shot into the BU's turret, which was never going to pen, but he has given us his side, and we do manage to get a shot into the side of it. We're going for that engine shot in the hope that maybe we will be able to set him on fire, but we managed to nick the kill there on that BU with the autocannon, again showing why the autocannon is kind of useful. See the BMP3 and I'm like, oh god, and there we go. The ATGM slams straight in through the front of this tank, and we lose, what was that, about 700-800 damage to that BMP3's ATGM? Yeah, that hurt. And like I say, you've not really got any armour in the MX-32, so shots will tend to just go straight through you quite easily, and stuff like ATGMs are not a good time for you. And especially if you face another AMX-32 or an AMX-40 that has this 20mm autocannon, if you get the side of it, you can machine gun the ever-living crap out of its side, and you will shred the poor bugger. Because if you get the side or the rear, yeah, it's pure paper for this 20mm autocannon to go for. So as you can see, we're up to 2.3k damage so far, and I'm trying to get into position to get a shot at this Leopard 2A5 if he crosses. We're just watching the enemy team to see where they go, and here the Leopard 2A5 just drives right out in front of us. So we're just going to start using this autocannon, and this is where, again, I mean, we managed to get the kill there with the autocannon, but we would have been able to do it with the main cannon too a little bit earlier. But we do manage to get a shot into the Thumper there. And I'm just watching the reload of my main guns and stuff. And we notice there's this 2A5 in the distance and the BM that are attacking my friends. So I'm just thinking, can I get a shot into the side of these guys? We try and get a shot into the side of the 2A4's turret, but it actually ends up bouncing. And we're just going to progress forward and see, again, if we can try and help our team move on with this flank. Try and keep them going with the support cover. But as we're moving up, we notice the AMX-32. So we managed to get a couple of shots there into him with the autocannon, which made him a definite one-shot for this gun, because well, he was a definite one-shot for this gun anyway, because you have 520 alpha. But you know, we were making sure there. And here we've got a nice little shooting gallery at these guys. We go at the T-72BU with the autocannon, and we're just going to keep helping our friends over there against these two tanks and keep shredding these shots in. That BU was not happy with me firing my autocannon at him. He's got heavies around him, and he's like, no, I will look at you. And he manages to get shut down. Then we turn around and go, oh, I think they're starting to push around behind us. Okay, we need to try and get stuck in over here and help. We notice the M1A2 is running around, so we're just going to start smashing in some shots into the M1A2, who has started to turn towards us. We try and get shot into his lower plate. Stupid shot. That was never going to happen on the M1A2. But he ends up ignoring us and running away the other way instead of, well, coming after us like I thought he would. But they're going after this heavy tank that's got stuck in down the bottom, this Type 90-2. So we're going to go in as well and try our best to help out. And we are absolutely swarming these last three tanks. We get a shot straight into the Thumper. I was trying to track him. And this Thumper is the one I've decided you're going to go down. We're just using this autocannon with the auto-aim straight into the back of him. And here's McCarver. We get another shot into his side. And this is where, yeah, the autocannon doesn't quite work against the McCarver 2B. Even against the rear, it tends to struggle, but we do manage to get the final kill there, straight into that McCarver Mark 2B. And we finished the game with a really nice total again for the MX-32, finished with 5 kills, 12k damage, 810 assistance, the ace tanker, the high caliber, 1838 base XP. Pretty damn nice game once again for the MX-32, and a really nice game again for an entry era 3 tank. And it just sort of keeps up. That's what I like about it. It keeps up with the madness that is era 3, and you can especially if you flank, you can capitalize on unsuspecting opponents very, very easily and turn the tide of a battle or an engagement in general into your favor, which is what is nice with it. It's the reason I probably prefer it over something like the M1 Abrams, because while the M1 Abrams is quicker, I just feel like the gun for me handles better, and the penetration is nice at 526 or 6, what is it, 633 for the premium rounds, which are pretty damn nice as well. And I think I just prefer it because as well as having that fantastic gun, fantastic DPM, as well as the nice pen, you have that 20mm autocannon just to have a meme with, and it's an extra danger factor for you. So we're in this third and final game, and we're on airfield. A lot of our team are along the sea line. I was constantly keeping my eye on where that AMX-32 came from, because I was always feeling like something was going to come after us from there. And it did. Unfortunately, we ended up bouncing off our friend as we went for the shot into him. But now we're just making sure that this T-72B is gone. We absolutely shred that T-72B, and he's out of there. Now looking for shots into the guys in front of us in the AMX-32 and the M1, but they are starting to pull back a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go in and try and, again, pressure them, use my DPM. So we get a shot through the lower plate of the MX-32. As you can see, that MX-32 actually penned us in the front with the autocannon. Again, reiterating, this thing doesn't really have any armor. But we do get a couple of shots into him. We try and go for the shot into his lower plate, but unfortunately it sort of just lags behind and ends up hitting his tracks only. We get another shot there into the AMX-32, and we get shot in the side as well by the Type 90, I think it was, or was it Type 80, one of the two. But I decide, okay, that engagement isn't for me. I'm bleeding too many hit points doing that. So we're going to, again, flank up, change the angle. I was going to try and get a shot into the back of this Type 80, or Type 90, whichever one it was. I've not seen it yet. And just as we get there, there's an M1 Abrams comes charging through. We managed to get a few shots into him with the autocannon, which sets him on fire, but he ends up either having a fire crew or puts it out. And we're just trying to keep getting shots into him because he's engaging our other heavy tank. So we get a shot through the side of his turret, which damages his ammo rack. And he ends up driving straight back out in front of our gun. We slap the shot through his side, and he gets shut down by the M1A2. And now is my time to turn my attention on this Type 90-2, which is causing a crossfire for my team, so we have to get rid of this pesky guy. We get the shot through the back end, and I'm just going for the drive wheel, which we get. We track him in place. I should be using the autocannon as well right now, but we retrack him, and then it's like, oh yeah, the autocannon. And then we shut down the Type 90-2 with the autocannon. Again, it's a big boxy target with the back end. It's dead easy to pen. And now we're in a position where we can try and cause, again, a crossfire and try and help our team progress this fight on this angle. Now, there is the McCarver here, and there's a Thumper behind him. I see the McCarver, and I think, you know what? I could try and get a pen into this McCarver, or I could try... This Thumper seems to be facing the other way. I can try and get a shot into the lower plate of this McCarver, and then just machine gun the back of the Thumper, because why not? And it's like, hello, Mr. Thumper, just let me machine gun you. And again, we didn't forget about the main cannon, and oh, that was a sad shot. We didn't forget about the main cannon, and we managed to shut down the Thumper there with the help of our main gun, because we used the machine gun to whittle his health down, and as soon as we were reloaded with the main cannon, we fired, kept the DPM as high as possible, and we're up to 10,000 damage already, and there's 7 tanks left with 3 kills. So we just wait for the Thumper to fire, and now the Thumper's fired, I'm going to pull forward and shoot the McCarver, and we're just going to start laying in the hurt with this DPM, because obviously that Thumper did fire, but he fires very, very slowly, and we are just slamming the shot straight through the lower plate of this McCarver 2B, and he is gone. We're up to 12,000 damage with 4 kills, and the Thumper seems to be facing us still, but he's got a Thumper behind him, so as soon as the Thumper behind him turns around, shoots him, he starts turning around, just waiting for the shell to finish him off, and we do. Now there's only 4 tanks left, for which 3 of them are directly in front of us, so we're going to try and get in behind to start distracting these guys while our guys are also in front of them. But in fact, the Leopard 2 is directly facing us, and so is the other guy, and we managed to get a shot into the Leopard, which only tracks him. But once again, because I'm confident in the DPM of this thing and how fast it fires, we're just going to keep laying in the hurt very, very quickly, and just making sure that when we know it's safe to do so, we're just going to keep pulling forward and firing. So we shut down the Leopard 2A4 there, giving us the top gun, and in quick succession, shut down the T-72BU, giving us the 7 kills, and just like that, we shut down the M1A2 and get our 8th kill of the game with 14,000 damage, slam a shot through the lower plate of the McCarver Mark III, and just before we managed to get there to get a shot in to kill him, he ends up getting shut down by the Thumper, but we finished the game with a fantastic finish for the AMX 32. We finished with 8 kills, 15k damage, 1,200 assistance, the Ace Tanker, the Top Gun, the High Caliber, the Frost Heroes medal, which is for 8 kills, brand new Cold War medal, 2.1k base XP. A really great game for the AMX 32, and it showed how deadly this thing can be when you just keep flanking, keep going for the unsuspecting targets, and how fast you can trash tanks that ignore you with that autocannon in the rear and just using the pure raw DPM of this tank. Can be pretty damn nice. I mean, even though I don't like Era 3, I still felt like this tank was pretty damn good. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!